Frieren Beyond Ends Journey, or Sousou no Frieren in Japanese, hope I didn't butcher the name, is a really good anime. It truly feels like those once in a decade type of animes, like it feels really special, and those who have watched it can attest to what I'm saying. Where do I even begin? One thing about this anime that became apparent to me as I was watching it was its slow pacing. I wasn't really sure if I was going to like it, but this anime was not slow paced because it was your run-of-the-mill slice of life show. It was slow paced because it needed to do it, to convey its message of time, life, and companionship. This message that are so well executed, I'd be surprised if it doesn't resonate with anyone who watches it. That's how good I consider this anime to be. We see Frieren with this group of adventurers doing adventurous stuff at the beginning of the story, and there is also some wholesome moments sprinkled here and there, like the scene where they say goodbye to Frieren while looking at the shooting stars, and a lot of time passes, like a lot, and we see Frieren returning to her old friends, and they are very old. And I just got to say, this anime is really good at putting you in the shoes of someone who is immortal. It is amazingly brilliant in making us understand what being immortal feels like. Because of her immortality thing, the whole adventure with Himmel for her was like a day. How crazy is that? Being immortal makes you sort of complacent, not have any urgency at all. We see that with the way Frieren is so patient about doing everything. Her sense of time is very different, so in the first couple episodes when we see her separated from her companions and she returns years later and gets reunited with Himmel and the others, and Himmel passes away, it takes her quite the time to digest what has really occurred. From this scene we come to understand the emotional issues Frieren has due to her immortality, and as the story goes on and she goes on her second adventure with Fern and Stark, that's when she really understands and appreciates how much Himmel meant to her. And speaking of Himmel, he's one of the best characters in this show. How he helped Frieren by convincing her to join their party and go with them, and saved her from the emotional stunted state she was in, helping Hater to be a beacon of virtue as well, which was one of the most profound theme in the story for me, because Hater represents what a genuinely good person is. He drinks and smokes, lies sometimes, but he never claimed to be a holy person who transcends the masses. He had his vices and fears, but always acknowledged his shortcomings. That there is a genuine good guy, and I just like him so much. One scene I really enjoyed and also found to be thematically beautiful is when Himmel tried to lift the sword and it turned out fate has declared that he is not chosen. What did he do in this instance? Did he curl up, give up and sulk? No. He got the job done anyways. He defeated the Demon Lord and saved the land, and that's one profound message right there. By going out there knowing he is not the chosen one and still defeating the big bad boss, Himmel might have just cemented himself as one of the coolest characters in anime, and just how like Hater showed that he's a true priest by proving he was a genuinely good person, Himmel showed that he was a true hero by defeating the Demon Lord through sheer resolve and grit. Another character that I really like is Stark. He's a very strong man physically, but there lies a problem in that he is a coward, and I feel like that's something we can all relate to at some level. And another message of this story that I really like is don't say no when opportunities provide themselves. If Frieren hadn't gone with Himmel and the others, she would have missed out on a life-changing experience. It's a real fact that doing things that you wouldn't normally do, like getting out of your comfort zone and stuff, is good, because that is the place where we grow as individuals, and Frieren accepting Himmel's offer embodied that for me. Her first group of adventurers guided her. They were the first ones she was close to after her teacher died. They guided her and taught her a lot of lessons about life, and now at the present storyline the role is reversed and she is the one guiding Stark and Fern Frieren, she's sort of their parent figure, and it's probably her most important relationship because it made her look back on her old adventures and realize how special they were to her. And that there is really good writing. One thing I respect about this show is that it's not afraid to slow the pacing down, which is a risk, and it is to its benefit, so that is very impressive. And another amazing thing that makes this show good is the fact that it is a story that starts after the big bad boss is defeated. It's like seeing the other side of a story after the heroes defeat the bad guy. It's a nice thought experiment. Another aspect of this show I really enjoy is the power fantasy aspect of it. Frieren is so overpowered and she doesn't care about that fact, and instead worries about spells like how to make tea and stuff. I like how it's utilized for deadpan humor, but when it comes to action, especially those scenes where they underestimate Frieren, Stark or Fern and the opposition completely gets bodied, it gives you the satisfaction of a good old power fantasy story, like the time we learned about Frieren can hide her aura and all the hype scenes that results from it. This show is really amazing. If you haven't watched it, check it out ASAP. If you've made it this far into the video, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification button. It will mean a lot, and with that said, see you in the next one.